Hello everyone, it's me again, Jeffrey. Been a while since I made a new video, and that's for good reason because I had to do a lot of inner work and processing last month, so I was quite delayed in the videos. But now that the energies are definitely more forward moving and supportive of this, let's go right into it. And what I wanted to talk about today was the concept of choice, and the title being Our Choices and Agreement. And what that means on a deeper level, is that overall, everything that we experience, everything that we experience as being humans, as being beings of infinite creation, are all based on choices and agreements. And what we mean by choice is the making of the decision to be or do something, to act within one's will, since we live in this free will universe. Isn't that so? So we have the choice whether or not to experience something. And that goes far beyond what most people are used to. Most people are used to, okay, it's either this or that. There's no in between. And that's the whole limited thinking of duality, which is not really the case at all. For every single thing that we experience, it's honestly based on things that we agree to. And the agreements come in where we have made our decisions and choices, and then we put it all in order so that when we go through the process of experiencing it, we have the different agreements with the permissions granted, and everything flows within the concept of universal law, which is free will, the universe, universal peace, brotherly, sisterly love. And overall, it doesn't matter what role is being played by the individual or the being, because it is essentially all of it being source, creator, being the one who created us, experiencing itself through different avenues. So the concept of good and evil, though relevant in our current 3D, 4D reality, it is still relevant. But at the same time, on a larger scale, outside of our concept of time, space, and all these things, it's not really that simple. It's not really one extreme or the other, because there really aren't extremes. It's more of a continuum, if you look at it that way. It's more of not the black or white, but a mixture of the two, the gray area on the outside. It involves a lot of everything, and those who we perceive as either good or bad are all making a choice to do so. And it also involves soul contracts, and those soul contracts are also a part of agreements. They are the agreements in which we choose to perform whatever we want to experience through. So we have ones who can be the best of saints, God sent saints who serve humanity and serve all creation so well that you can never see them wrong. And yet, in another life cycle, they can just choose to be the worst thing ever that any civilization has ever experienced. And it's still the same being. And the next thing about that is it's all still very much creation, the creator experiencing creation through different roles and modes. So it's easy to perceive all of this as a kind of video game, as many have been pointing it out, and it all ties into the same exact thing. We made the choice to experience something, and then we agree with other beings. It's essentially the creator agreeing with itself, like, okay, I want to do this, I don't want to do that, I'll try it out later, but for now I want to do this, And okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. All right, let's go. And that's pretty much how it goes. So us as fractals of source are essentially playing out our chosen roles for this lifetime, whether or not we choose to evolve or just stay stagnant in a particular level and to learn more lessons, to experience more things before we're ready to move on. So that's where free will comes in quite well. So, what does this mean in terms of what's actually happening with Earth right now? Well, it's a simple concept of where are we coming from versus where are we going, and where did we choose to come from versus where we choose to go, and what we've agreed to come from in order to and or agreement to where we want to go next. And it's really that simple, that what has happened to the earth and is actually an agreement. It's hard to believe for most people that the earth would even agree to allowing all this chaos and confusion and being enslaved and all of that thing to happen. But she actually agreed to it. She agreed to it because she also wanted to experience that sort of thing. And everyone here who came here as different souls also chose to experience it. So uh, it's not a issue of okay, we were all tossed into this. No, we chose to do it. It's just that most don't remember, and that's the biggest thing that affects our understanding of what the free will universe even means. Us forgetting what it basically entails, and that despite our free will being infringed on, which is still a penalty. There's still penalties very much for that. But even then, there's still a level of agreement, consciously or unconsciously, especially probably subconsciously, where your higher self decided to experience some form of negative interaction with other beings, other circumstances, in order for it to learn what it would get out of that. So it's really a video game, especially like a role playing video game where you choose a role, either a good guy or the bad guy, or even the in between, where you're just neutral or you just go with whatever you like, and that's the next thing about all of our decisions with what we choose to live out in our lives, that what we choose is not the final end all be all. You're not locked to a destiny, a predetermined destiny. You choose your destiny. You choose where you want to go. You choose what you want to experience. And overall, it's not as if you're ever missing out on anything, because if you factor in the concept of timelines, you're essentially experiencing every decision that you did and didn't make consecutively, in just different timelines. So if you choose to ascend, you have that timeline versus the timeline where you did choose when you didn't choose to ascend. So that's really it. And if you just think about it that way, with everything in your life, with everything that you've ever experienced, that really sums up a lot of stuff. So hope this helps some people to understand a bit more what's going on, and we'll see what the next topic brings. So thank you very much for listening, and to the next one, peace out.